push gently towards me. Okay, that's fine. Okay. When we do a knockoff, I think you should probably give me a little push. Oh, do. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Actually, no, pull.
Pull.
Pull gently. Go. You paddle gently. Go ahead. Harder. Off. There we go. Is that the one?
I mean, would you mess with it anymore?
Looks nice to me.
I think it looks great. We saved the whole design.
Yeah, that's exactly amazing. The way we were hoping.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Dude, that's really cool.
Yep. It's so cool how you just paint them on there and it works perfect.
Oh yeah.
Let me torch it after you go. Ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2. What time is it now?
It's 11.
It's what?
11, I think.
Oh, okay.
So it's 11.
11-ish.
11.
What do you think? About yay?
Yeah, I mean, if you
or tighter.
I think that's good. You need to, I don't want to get on the design at all.
I get it, yeah. All right, let this marinate, let that heat. Look at that torch. Or, yeah. No, not that one. Can I have that torch? I don't think we need that yet. But let's open up the doors.
Ooh, that's hot.
Oh. Okay, coming out.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah. Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
One more.
Yeah, I think we should. Go slow so I can see. I think that's good.
Okay.
It's okay. Unless I'm missing something.
Well, I can't get in over there to look, so I'm not worried about it. I think it's good. I can't really see, so I doubt that it's anything that fire can't take care of.
Okay. I'm gonna start this
Okay, you want to use that?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
That. Okay, let me get in there. Let's do the outside back here.
Okay.
Come in from the front. Hey, come in from the front.
Okay.
Stay with it. Stay with it. Okay. Go ahead and preheat just for a couple seconds and then let them cool down again just a little bit before. Okay. Ready? Lift.
Ooh.
When I come into the studio, I have the most beautiful park to walk into. It's always quiet and you can hear the nature coming down the hill as you walk into the park. It's a really serene place to be in the mornings. So I'm very lucky that I get to have a studio that is so inviting to come into. When I come in, I always have to assess what's going to happen throughout the day. I'll typically unload the ovens from the day before if they're ready and do some maintenance checks and make sure the equipment is all in line and going to work for the day and start figuring out what I need for the day, whether it's going to be these particular furnaces or those particular ovens and colors and patterns and my designs for the day. My name is Paul Swerwood. I'm the resident artist for Glassblowing in Glen Park in Maryland here. I'm the owner and operator of Glen Glassworks, and I run all the day-to-days within the studio, whether it be teaching, scheduling, blowing glass, or having others come in to work with me and make glass. Glassblowing is a fantastically entertaining process for me all the way through from beginning to end. It is engaging physically, it's engaging mentally, challenging in every dimension you can imagine. I love that focus. It brings you to a point of clarity with the material that you can anticipate it and take it to the next level. It's always fun to demonstrate for somebody who maybe hasn't ever seen it before. And when you're done with the project, it's a real final moment that gives me the feeling as if I just did a magic trick for them. Even though to me the process seems very matter of fact, after practicing for so long, it still amazes a lot of people, especially in kids, when you see that amazement. It's extremely encouraging. is always very important to me, to make sure that I don't just put the piece in the oven and I'm done with it, but I actually learn something from that piece. And I love the ability to reflect on the glass afterwards and imagine what it maybe could have been if I had only had this part different or that part a little more fine-tuned or corrected. So that's what drives me as an artist. Glassblowing can be very intense when you're working with it, and it can feel very emotional at the time. And that's actually, I feel, very good because it keeps you focused on keeping the piece of glass on the pipe and safe while you're staying safe as well. It benefits you to break pieces and learn from them. It makes you less emotional over any given piece and somehow still more emotional about the process. There's an unbelievably rewarding satisfaction that comes with understanding a given piece on the level of the maker. So it's really a fun thing to be part of in creation. It's not difficult to focus when you're working through a piece as long as you have the correct structures in place. Mapping out the piece ahead of time with your assistants or even yourself internally to decide how the piece is going to go. It's all very important, all the way down to your hydration and the way that you feel that day. It's all very important. When you do that and you get all your setup in place with your tools properly and your assistants on the same page as you, and you have all your systems in place, then suddenly everything works out very nicely. And then the only things you have to worry about are getting a little too hot and stepping out for a minute or two and then coming right back to it. I'd say the main challenges in my job tend to be the technical challenges, and they're the most fun. They're the most rewarding to try to conquer. You need to be able to accept your losses, and failure is a large part of making glass. You either get a piece of glass or you get a lesson almost every time you put it in the oven. And if you don't see the lesson there, then you're going to miss it, and you will absolutely wish that you had gotten it, because glassblowing requires your focus on such a level that you don't have time to put it down and come back to it. Working with other glass artists is also incredibly encouraging to get other points of view on how a particular technique could be approached. There's a huge wealth of knowledge out there, so I always try to encourage as many glass artists to come visit. I would say creativity is to take a common knowledge or a shared experience and embellish it. So for me, as a constant observer, I'm always driven, I think, to replicate the beauty in what I see around me. I'm always observing nature. I'm always trying to show my daughters that it's very important to speak about your thoughts on nature. Creativity is very important in my work because I work with so many people. I need to be creative to learn how to communicate with them and learn how to reach our common goals together. You have to be creative in your thoughts. You have to be ready to reinterpret sometimes for people. And it only helps to make you a stronger designer or glassblower. I think when I first started making glass, I really just wanted to make pretty things. I'm learning more about how to apply the particular processes in order to achieve the goals that I might want to. So my philosophy has changed in terms of being able to make what I want to now, as opposed to making what I potentially thought that was the best I could make. So I like to craft my glass in a way that makes me happy, whether that's building a large sculpture or a happy cloud goblet of some sort. But it's work that makes me happy, and that's not so rooted in the idea of being what I think is historically pretty and what taught me the techniques. I think I'm able to diverge from that a bit. Creative work is always more fun to plan out with your team and understand as a team, because it really feels a lot like working in a kitchen, for instance, when everybody has a time-sensitive project that they all have a part to complete as they go. And when it all goes smooth and you're set up well and you have a great team working with you, it seems like easy work. There's a lot of different ways to interpret work, and as a craftsman, I tend to focus more on the technical aspects of work. It's hard for me to dwell on my work too much. I tend to move on to the next project pretty quickly so that I can keep myself fresh and take on a wide variety of projects. I learn from my work as much as I can, and I always try to decide how to make it better next time, what I could have done better, while not beating myself up and realizing that I'm still doing just fine with it. It's getting in the oven, and I'm still learning. Hey friends, thank you for being here. This is my first dual stream on YouTube and Twitch, so thank you for being here, witnessing a first. I've got a few new little excuse me, few new little systems to implement while I'm streaming here, help make it fun, and maybe add some more people. So I'm adding these canes onto a metal plate, and I'm just going to go ahead and put them in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and measure them first, actually. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. Please feel free to say hi in the chat. I will do my best to keep up with it. If I can answer any questions for anybody, please shout them out. In the chat, of course. Racing Kid, you still there, bud? I've got a little chunk of white here. This is actually an opaline white. And it really needs to melt down quite a bit because it just looks like a hard little marshmallow right now. is the smaller version of what I'm going to work on this afternoon. I mean, not this afternoon, pretty much right now. I just got to do my color setup first. If I can answer any questions for anybody while I'm working, just shout them out. You got me here by myself. I've got a series of blue canes in the oven. And those canes are going to be rolled up on the outside of this little marshmallow that's been blown out. Before I do that, I'm going to add some clear glass on the outside here. Let me let this cool just a little more after I flash it. I want to make sure it's okay for gathering. Hey, Racing Kid, thanks for being here, bud. You're a live witness to my first dual live stream. You were there, man. You've been there a lot lately. A lot of new firsts. I'm just waiting on this bubble to cool down a little more. I'll take a gather on it. We're gonna roll up some canes on the outside of the new gather and get that in the oven and melt them all down, section off this bubble for a couple different color sections. And then we'll get back to making one of them into a vase. And all before my student gets here at 1. So we got time. How's everybody doing down there? To any and all of my new YouTube visitors, this is the same stream I've been running on Twitch for a little while, maybe a year or so. I got about 4 cameras, a bunch of different views with each camera. Sound hopefully is working, music background should be working, all the good stuff we should have. So please check out my other live stream channel on Twitch. Subscribe to my YouTube stuff for regular videos, not just this. You'll see a bunch if you look. I have them scheduled out about 3 or 4 times a week. So please give it a check out, give it a look. Yeah, man. Dual stream indeed. Oh, boo. Sorry, gang. Ah. Hey, thank you, Frank Lombano, for saying hi. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. That is what we're working on. One of those. But I'm actually going to get it off this pipe and put it onto a different so that I can kind of use it from a nicer angle on the end there. And hello from DC area, by the way. Thanks again for being here. Okay, so in the name of getting this color section onto a better pipe from that angle, I'm going to bonk it off into the oven, scrap this bit of clear and on this pipe I have, and get another pipe, stick it on from that wide side, and go. Start making a piece. It'll give me a little more compacted moil area back here that I can gather more glass on. A little easier to work with altogether. Just letting this chill out a little bit so I can get it in the oven and not have it be stressed out from the break off. Now I can scrap this. Go ahead and get that metal plate out of there. I'll need that space for later. Now it's ready to be picked up. So let's go get a pipe and pick it up. If I can answer any questions for anybody, shout them out while I'm working. In the chat, of course. Thank you, thank you. So far, so good, eh? Got to get my pipe to a nice dull red glow. Clear it out, make sure everything's good to go. All right, now I'm going to cool the back end, heat the face, and go stick it onto my little color section I just made. And just to help de-stress the glass a little bit, I'm going to open up a door, kind of ease up the heat in the hole here. I'm just trying to lightly introduce it to the heat. There's no need to throw it all the way in there too much too soon when it comes out of an annealing temperature or just above. Hey, Philip Valencia, Grant Garmazy and Aaron Garmazy, how are you? Thank you all for being here. That's awesome. Oh, and by the way, should we just go ahead and sing happy birthday to Phil right now? No? Okay, if you insist. Awesome. Good to hear they're treating you good up there, down there. Oh, Frank, let me catch up with you here. Frank Lombardo. I've been watching your videos. I'm starting at Glassblowing. Good. Awesome. Well, thank you, man. Yeah, I gotta work solo a lot of the time because there's not many glass artists and glass blowers available for helping close to me. So I make do, and then when somebody comes around to be able to help, I use them as much as I can. I do have some good friends that work around here. There's this guy Sean, we've got Phil Valencia there. Everybody probably knows him. Well, YouTube seems to be working well, Phil. Are you watching on? Yes, you're watching on Twitch. Well, you can hop over and give me some views on my YouTube and tell me how it's going. I think it's going well. I got my chats merged, but people have been pretty quiet. That's okay. I got tabs on Racing Kid though, he's in here. Hey, Racing Kid, there he is. All right, so this is when I go ahead and get my torch over here. Let's hang this up. You might think so. He's over in Richmond right now, hanging out with Grant Garmsey, getting him up and running on the YouTubes and all the devices, I think. What the word? Sorry. The trick is doing it while you do it, right? Come on. All right, Simadonna, Simadonna. nose is not in a good mood today. All right, I'm going to clean up my space a little bit here. Get ready for the gather. Start doing this. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's tricky. And then there's that stupid blow hose that gets like wrapped around the keypad and probably hits the mic, and I don't know, and all kinds of stuff you can't imagine. Man. So before I go and get the punny on here, I'm going to build up a little heat throughout the rest of the piece. I'm going to let the foot stay kind of chilly. Build up some heat on top here, make sure it's not too stressed out when the time comes. And I kind of am doing this to kind of buy myself some time to go make a punny. It's not much, but at least it's giving the rest of it time to cool, and this doesn't cool down quite as fast. Then I can build it up more evenly each flash. All right, we're good. It's on there. So this is one of the longest heats I'm gonna have to take. I gotta be able to do a flash every now and then to soak some heat into the back end, make sure the connection doesn't get too cold. But really it's all about staying back here and soaking the heat into the neck without overheating the shoulder too much. So yeah, I'll even close down a bit. So before I start my trimming and pulling and all that whatnot on the lip, I'm going to build some more heat back here at the base of the neck. Because this is really, where I'm torching is really where I want the glass to be moving. I don't want just the lip to be the hottest part, and therefore be the only part that stretches away. I want to elongate my neck and use this nice thick material here to create the neck that I want. So just by doing that for a little bit, and I come back here and I'll heat a little more, I'm just building up the heat right in the most appropriate part. While continuing to go in and flash and heat the back end. And now if I switch back my directions, I can kind of feel where the heat's starting to react, or excuse me, the glass is starting to react to the heat. So I can feel that the heat is starting to soak in back there where it should. Most likely too far though, back into the shoulder. So I'm gonna have to cool the shoulder a little bit as well at some point here. And again, I want to build more heat back here so that I can draw this glass out real nice and straight. Of course, happy to explain as long as there's somebody listening. I usually know when there's people in my studio watching, you know. But yeah, I'm happy to talk. No matter where you blow glass, there's always somebody that wants to talk and ask questions about it. So you Oh, that's awkward timing. My propane guy is rolling down the hill. So at the end of the neck here, at the lip, I constricted a little line. That was going to be where I was going to bonk it off, but I think I would rather trim it down with those tiny trim shears. Or the medium trim shears. Just get rid of that material now so it doesn't mess me up while I'm trying to work with the material below it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear the noise, but I apologize for it. You don't hear it? Good. Okay. Oh, I originally learned glassblowing in Salisbury, Maryland in college, and got the bug there. Moved on to got hired as a assistant glassblower up in Pennsylvania at a crystalware factory up there in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Spent about 5 or 6 years there, and everywhere I can ever since, honestly, after I left there. Hey, thanks, bud. See ya. And in 2007, I came down here to teach classes and work for the previous owner of this studio, who had been here since '91. And after a couple years of working with him, I bought the place from him and became the resident artist here in Glen Echo, and have been here continuing my residency for 15 years now. So, oops. I do happen to have the only glass studio in the area that has classes that run. So I teach beginning level classes here. I do, my own work, commissions, whatever keeps me busy. That's what I'm doing. So I'm busy. Anyways, right now, by the way, I'm just fine tuning this. Just trying to make sure everything still looks kosher up here and back here. We'll torch a little bit. Try to give the piece some time to chill out while the back end doesn't get too cold. We'll build up some heat and I'll flash it once or twice and take it and put it away. A flash is to go all the way in the heat and then right back out away from the heat. It's not really a heat on the glass, it's more of a heat treatment. And if you do it quick and accurately and enough times, you start to feel that the entire wall thickness of the glass builds up a little bit of softness to it, and which is strength in terms of hot glass. So it gives it a nice ability to be able to withstand the bonk that takes it off of this iron. So you're flashing the whole piece a few times. Come over here, let's do this. Whoops, sorry guys. 3, 6, there we go. So we'll set this up here, take a little dot of water. 1, 2, 3, that's all you need. Now, you test yourself, see how good your balance is. You balance it, and get it off of there. And before it gets too cold, give it a little fire polish. That wasn't the absolute cleanest break that it could have been, so I'm going to smooth out the broken edge. Yeah, let's use some gloves. We'll put it in the oven and let it cool slowly overnight. Way back here. Okay. Anyways, so that's that. Thank you guys for sticking in there with me. That was a fun piece. I still have that other color section that I think I might just go ahead and use today. I still got an hour and a half before a student shows up. So this will be just time for a quick cool down break, wash my hands, get ready, and we'll go pick up that other piece, okay? So please do stick around. I'll be right back.
I have one skill set. That skill set is glass making. Y'all are in a sauna. You thought it was 70? Nah. It is regularly at least 20 to 30 degrees hotter in my garage than it is outside. It's never going to be colder. Unless it's Bizarro World. If there's a nuclear explosion for a brief moment it would be hotter outside than it is inside. Now in the summer, it's 90 degrees outside. It's regularly 120 in my shop. My thermometer maxes out at 122, and at 123 it just says HH. One of my students pointed out that probably means high heat. And I'm like, nah, hot as hell, hella hot. First time you've seen a second person making glass here. Oh, it's actually not that unusual. I work with anywhere from like 5. I feel like there's more other people that blow glass in my shop than I actually blow glass in my shop. And this glass blower is my friend Glassblower. Spelt kind of dyslexic or something. But if you're interested in glass blowing, highly recommend you give my friend a follow. He's on Twitch as G. So you gotta go do some recording, so unfortunately can't stay long. But definitely wanted to follow and stay hanging out. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you for Ninja putting the shout up there again. That helps a lot. Really appreciate everybody who's able to tune in. Art of Lee, appreciate the follow. Below 70, I turn into a little girl about it. All of my friends and family tease me for my total lack of cold tolerance. Yeah. I think I have 3 moderators now. Ben, another streamer who is one of my first followers, Jordan, and then Ninja. Wee. Nightbot's our friend, yeah. Oh, that was no spammer. Sorry. It freezes, becomes more solid, but not all the way solid. And one of those liquid characteristics, it's like semi holding its own shape, but not so much that it would otherwise be unaffected by gravity. Glass blowing in orbit would be interesting. The Trek Nerd, oh my god, I love that you brought that up. I used to waste an exorbitant amount of time fantasizing about what glass blowing in zero gravity would be like. It's like you don't have to turn, you just have to rotate yourself around the glass to shape it all the way around. Make a perfect clarity. They can achieve characteristics they can't do in gravity. And I take his word for it because Ian's a smarter guy than I am. But it was entirely theoretical. I wasn't sure how much had actually been experimented.
Well, that's how you would experiment.
Was accepted.
door, I see.
But we got like 7 seconds. Coming to you. Oop.